Okay guys, so today we are working with advanced group policy. And what is that advanced group policy? Let me explain you with the MS Paint. Suppose we have one organization here. This is our organization. This is our domain controller. So in this domain controller, what we have few OUs. So we have created few organizational unit. We have one OU. That OU name is parent OU. In this parent OU we have some users P1, P2 like this. Okay, we have few users. In this parent OU we have one another OU which is known as child OU. In this child OU we have some users C1, C2 like this. In this child OU we have another sub child OU, SOU, sub COU you can say, and here we have some users, right? Now if I'm talking about group policy, and it's the same like if you have worked on the folder permission, suppose if you apply for some permission on this folder, so automatically the permission will be applied on all these subfolders which is inside the folder. Same here also in this group policy what we are going to talk. So we are going to talk few advanced group policy which will come under. So we can say like the first one is group policy inheritance. Inheritance, the first one. So we are talking about group policy inheritance. So what is group policy inheritance? If you will provide some policy, group policy on this folder, on this uh, organizational unit, automatically it will be applied on this child OU or sub OU you can say. Okay, so let's find out, let's configure this, and we'll see that the policy has been inherited or not, because you are applying the policy here and automatically it will apply on these OUs also. So we are here on this domain controller. Let's open Active Directory, users and computer. Okay, so now we have let's create as per our scenario. So we'll create here parent OU. So we created one parent OU. Inside parent OU, let's create one use P1, P1. Let's create one another user P2. Okay. Now let's create one OU inside this POU. So let's create one OU COU. You can see here the COU is under POU. Okay, you can see here. In this COU, we are going to create one sub OU again. Okay, so like this. Let's come here and create one user C1, C2, Now in SOU, let's come here and create one S1, S1, S2. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to apply some policies. Okay, so before applying on policies, let's log in with some users here. So we have this window 10 user. Okay, so let's come here, log in on this window 10 first. So we have to add this machine to domain controller. Why? Because if you come in computers, there is no computers, right? So before adding, we have to run ns lookup, check the LAN card. See, this is my VMware setting. Okay, so my VMware, I'm just checking it. NAT. Here I have to make it NAT. Okay. 10.1. Maybe I have not configured the correct IP address here. So server IP is 10.1, so here I'm going to give 10.10. DNS is 10.1. Okay, now let's add this machine to domain controller. Right click, properties, setting, change. Here I will write here ist.com. Okay, fine. And here it's the name of the computer is window 1 and the domain name is IAST. User I will write P1. Okay, so the machine is added now. And it will ask for the restarting of this machine. So the machine has restarted now, and if you'll come here and if you'll open Active Directory and computers, if you'll refresh it, you will get the window computer one. So see what we did here right now. We have just created OU, child OU and sub OU, and in the all those OUs we have created users. After that we added this machine to domain controller, and we are just going to log on the this client machine with parent OU users. Okay, so let's log in with P1 here. the user which is from our parent OU P1. Okay, so we are able to log in with the P1, which is the parent OU user, P1. Now you can see here the policies are not applied here. It's still running. This user is new, even machines are new, everything is new, but I want to provide some policy. Okay, user are able to open C drive and everything is working. Now what I want some policies on this parent OU. So let's come here. I'll go to tools, group policy management. In a group policy management, I'll come here to domain IIST. I'll go to parent OU. I'll right click, create a new GPO. So I'll just create first GPO for POU. So I'm just creating any name you can give. It's not important that you should. So click on right click and add it. Then I'll go here to user configuration, policies, administrative templates, Windows components, file explorer, prevent. I want to prevent the access of C drive on parent OU. So I'll come here, enable, restrict all drives, no, only C drive. Click OK. Then what I want another policy. This policy is okay. Restricting C drive policy. You know how to do restrict C drive. I'm just explaining about the how group policy inheritance work. Okay, now let me make one more policy. Let me make folder wallpaper policy here. So let me design some wallpaper. Okay, so this is a group policy inheritance, and now we can give some small design on this. Okay, so the wallpaper is saved. Now I'm going to Control S, save it, and I'll save it into my C drive in my local server, and the name I'm going to give wall. Enter. In that wall I will save it with wallpaper, and I will save as a JPG file. Okay, so I have saved it. After that, what I'll do, I'll go to that drive where I have saved the folder. I'll right click on the folder, wall. I'll go to properties, sharing, advanced sharing, share this folder. I'll go to permission, and here I'm using $sign, and you know why I'm using $sign. If you will follow my old videos, you will come to know how to share the folder. So I shared the folder, then I will right click and I'll go to properties, and in the sharing I'll copy this path. After copying this path, see the full name of this file is, you click on view and click on this file name extension. So the full name of this file is wall.jpg. Okay, keep in mind. Now I am coming here to this GPU. Again I'll go to this GPU, the GPU which I have created. Then I'll go to user configuration, policies, administrative templates. In that administrative templates, I'll go to desktop. In desktop again I will go to desktop, and in desktop you can see here desktop wallpaper. Open this, and here you have to define it. So I'll click enable the, and then I'll write here slash. Okay, then you have to write wall.jpg, same like that. Remember, wall.jpg. Okay, so I have written same path I have copied, and I have written wall.jpg, and I will write a stretch. Okay, click close, and then this also close. And then what we have to do, we have to update the policy. So you can come here to CMD, and then you write here gp update space force space boot space. Okay, okay, so the policy is updated. It's okay. Now what we have to do here, to come on the client system, after updating the policies, now log off and log in with P1 user. Okay, see here the policy has been applied, the wallpaper what you have set there. And if you'll come to my computer and if you'll try to open C drive, you can see that you are not able to open it. It's fine, because the policy what you have applied on this OU, it has been applied on all the users which is the part of this OU. But the problem is, if you log in with these users, the child OU users C1 or C2, let's come and log in, log off. And now if you click on other user and type here C1 and the password is, you can see here the policy has been applied on this also. And if in this child OU also, if you will come and see C drive, it's blocked. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let's come here to log off and let's log in with these users, this sub OU user S1 or S2. So it has been applied to this also, and if you'll see, if you'll open my computer and if you'll go with the C drive, same restrictions. Why? Because as I told you in the beginning that the policies has a default inheritance. If you apply anything, if you put anything on this, automatically it will be applied to the child OU, and whatever you have this, the like sub OUs, whatever, all the objects which is under this parent OU, every object will be affected after this policies what you are going to apply on the POU. So here you have applied desktop wallpaper and block C drive, it has been applied to all the OUs. But maybe one condition will come, you will say no, the policies what you are putting, that policy can, I can understand that, okay, that policy can be applied on sub OU, this SOU, but I don't want that that policy should be applied on COU. So what you can do, right? So that comes under different concept which is known as second method, which is known as block group policy inheritance. See, I want that only policies should be applied on all. Maybe you have some other OUs or whatever, many sub OUs, but I want that that policies of POU should not inherited and to be applied on COU. I want that this policy will should not apply on this child OU. So what you have to do? Very simple process. See, right now you have verified that the policy what you have applied on this, it has been applied to all the OUs. But here this second condition is that you want that this policy should not applied on COU, the policy of POU. So let's come here to the domain controller. Go to tools, group policy management. In a group policy management, what you have to do, you have to extract it and you have to come to which OU where you don't want. I want that on COU the policy shouldn't work. So right click here, click on block inheritance. That's it. Means I don't want the inheritance, means the policy what you are applying it should work on me also. So just click on block inheritance and update the policy. Okay, I updated it. Now I'll go here and I will log off. So I have blocked the inheritance on which OU? COU, child OU, right? So let's log in with the child OU user. Okay, I logged in here. Okay, so you can see here that you you are able to log in with C1, but can you see the desktop wallpaper? No. Even if you'll come here and you can open the C drive, right? And if you'll and now log off here and let's log in with this OU. Which OU? This OU users S1 or something like that. Okay, so let's come here. See here also it has not been applied. Why? Because if you can come here and if you'll see the policy is what is there. You said that inheritance will not come to me, right? So of course if it will not come to this OU, right, and this OU is the part of this child OU, so here also the inheritance will not come. But if you have some other OUs which is the part of this OU, same like COU, right, it will be infected here also. No problem, let's come here and define it. So I'm going to create one OU, COU2, child OU2, okay, and this is, if we have rename option, child OU1, okay. So here I am going to create C double O, child OU1 user, child OU2 user, child OU2 user. Okay, now come here and just update the policy, and now come and log off from this, and now log in with child OU2 user and the password. So now you can see here you are able to log in with COU2 users. And what is the difference if you'll come here as well, and you can see that the policy which is there running on parent OU, it has been applied on all the childs, all the childs here also, where we have created COU2, right? If parent has another child, so that policy will be applied here also. If parent has another child, that policy will be applied on this also, right? So now we have seen how to run the block inheritance. Maybe this child wants that, okay, no, I don't want the policy. Maybe administrator wants that do not apply the inheritance policy on this child. So we just have to right click on this OU and we have to click block inheritance with the help of group policy. So what we did, we came here and we just clicked on block inheritance. Maybe, see, right now this policy has been applied on this COU. So what I will do here, maybe I'll come here to COU, refresh it, COU2, and what I will do here also, what I will do, I'll just right click and click block inheritance. Maybe I don't want here as well, and refresh it, and after that update the policy. And just what you have to do, you have to log off and log in back again with the child OU2 users. Let's come here, now log in with this child OU2 users. Okay, so now you see here the policy, the wallpaper is not there. Even this user can open the C drive easily, no problem, right? And second option, that if I'm coming here, now the situation will change. Now what administrate, maybe you have more than 50 child OU of parent OU, more than 50. So what we have did, we have clicked on maybe like around 40 OUs, child OUs. We have clicked block inheritance, block inheritance, block inheritance, like that. Now administrator wants to enable again this inheritance, right? So what he has to do, he has to go to all the OUs, and we have to right click, and we have to remove this inheritance. Right click, remove the inheritance. So we have maybe around 40 OUs, we have to right click and remove it. But there is one option which is known as group policy enforcement. Let's come here to third one. Third option is group policy enforcement. So what this enforcement will do, enforcement will override this inheritance. He will say that okay, if you have enable inheritance, it will override the inheritance, and this block inheritance, and it will apply the actual inheritance with the help of enforcement. Means if you have enabled block inheritance, no problem, it will skip this option and it will apply the policies which is running on the POU. Means this inheritance will be applied again. And why we need this one, you have see the condition why we need. If you have a small OU like 2-3 OU, no need to do enforcement. You just go there and right click, remove the inheritance, right click, remove the inheritance, right? But maybe if you have more than 50 100 OUs like child OU, and you want to apply the policies of POU again back to child OU, so instead of removing on all OUs, right click, remove block inheritance, block inheritance. So what you have to do, you have to enable the enforcement. So how we are going to enable the enforcement? Nothing, no need to worry. What you have to do, you have to right click again this first OU, the the policy which is of parent OU. Nothing, right click and just click on enforcement. Just click on enforcement, and now this policy will be forcefully applied on these OUs, child OUs you can say. So just update the policy, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to log off, and now log in back with any OU like child OU 1 users or child OU 2 users, anyone. You will see the policy has been applied. Let's log in with COU users, no problem. See, the policy has been applied, and even if you'll see the C drive is open, sorry, is blocked. And if you'll come here, and if you'll see the group policy, see here you have the inheritance, block inheritance is running, but with the help of this enforcement, it has been overwritten and the policy has been applied, right? And now if the user wants that okay, what type of policy is running on and what type of policy has been applied on my system, so user can run this resultant set of policies.msc command. Resultant set of policies, this is a command to know what policy has been applied to you. So just right click on the user configuration policy has been applied on your, right click on that user configuration, go to policies, properties. You can see the first GPU of POU has been applied, and if you'll see here, it has been applied on your system. And the name of the policies, you also know the name of the policy is first GPU for POU. So here you can see okay, this policy has been applied on me. Okay, so with you can log in on any user and you can run this command, so it will help you to know what policy is running on your, or what policy has been applied on your system. So this is all about your this all three method. Group policy inheritance. So first you have to understand what is group policy inheritance. Second, what is the need of policy, group policy, means how we can block the policy inheritance and why we need to block the policy inheritance. So as I explained you that we need to block the inheritance. Maybe some branches need that, no, I don't want to follow the policy which is running on POU, so block for me but enable for others, no problem. Group policy enforcement is that maybe you have blocked the group policy inheritance, you have, or maybe you have enabled group policy inheritance on more than 50 or 100 child OU. So instead of removing from every child OU, you just apply the enforcement here. It will override the block inheritance. Okay. So this lab comes under advanced group policy. Okay. Do the lab. If you have any error, let me know. Okay. Go with the situation and go with the lab how I have created. Okay. Okay. If you have any error, just take a picture and send to me. I'll give you the solution. Okay. Thank you.